Hi, my name is Manong George, and I'm a UK registered nurse.
Hi everyone! My name is Lian Fernandez, and I'm a registered nurse here in the USA.
Hello everyone! Kamusta po kayong lahat dyan? Ako nga po pala si Ryan, and I am a registered nurse dito po sa may Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Guten Tag zusammen! My name is Maria Karen Guerrero Viola, or just call me Carcy, and I'm a Filipino nurse here working in Alemania, Germany.
Hello guys! Kamusta? My name is Jen. I'm a Filipino registered nurse here in Australia.
My name is John Felix Martin and I'm a registered nurse here in New Zealand.
So, nandito na po ako sa UK for over 10 years. And ang unang-una ko pong test noon is the IELTS academic. After the IELTS, interview with the agency, it took us 3 buwan lang. And nakalipad na po kami dito sa UK. Nag-overseas nursing program kami. Short program lang yun for 6 months. And then we finally got our PIN. Ngayon po, just to let you know, ang mga nurses ngayon, when they come here in the UK, they take not just the English exam, but they would also have the CBT and the OSCE tests.
In order for you to qualify of being a nurse here, you just need to take 2 examinations. That will be the NCLEX and the IELTS exam. For the NCLEX, waited for my eligibility for 3 months, applied through Northern Mariana Islands.
Sa Pilipinas, you have to submit your paper sa may NNAS. And then, maghihintay ka lang siguro, I think the wait times to be able to get into the program, to the refresher program, is 1 to 2 years. Medyo mahaba siya. Kaya yung iba, ang ginagawa is, nagpa-practical nursing muna kasi mas mabilis yung pathway ng practical nursing. Yung refresher course is aabutin ng 1.5 year, including the acute practicum, and then you have to write your NCLEX exam. So always check the regulatory body ng iba't ibang province dito.
Okay, so it took me around in total, let's say 1.5 years to reach Germany. And I took this interview, I passed the interview, and then after that, we were endorsed to an employer, and I also passed the interview from the employer. And while doing this, we were taking an intensive language training program, which took us 6 months to 8 months, I guess. Flew to Germany, and then I continued learning the language through their program there, and it was pure German. And so I passed the B2 level, and then from there, that's the time we could take the recognition exam. So the recognition exam is like the nursing licential exam in the Philippines. The hard part about that is that we have to speak in German. So the German language, speaking of the language, it's hard, really hard, very challenging, but it's doable.
Started my application back in 2017. I was also a registered nurse in Singapore. Initially thought I could immediately work here as a nurse. Ang tinake ko lang na exam, English test, which is during that time, 2017. IELTS pa yung popular na English test. For the IELTS, I completed other documents, and then I submitted to AFRA, which is the governing body here. Parang PRC yun sa atin. And then I took a 3-month bridging course, initial registration for overseas nurses. Pero recently, they are planning to outcome-based assessment. Meron ng exam. You can check out AFRA's website for the updated news. For the IELTS, score of 7 on each section.
And before I came here, I was actually a nurse in Ireland. So before practicing, you actually need to be registered here. And in order for you to be a registered nurse here, you need to do a bridging program, or they called it a competency assessment program. But fortunately, they granted me direct registration because I was a nurse in Ireland. So if you are a nurse in the UK, in Ireland, in Singapore, in the US, or in Canada, New Zealand Nursing Council would actually give you direct registration if you have a proof or enough experience to satisfy that you're competent enough to be a nurse here.
Work ko as an emergency nurse, no? It's very, very stressful, but it's very, very fulfilling. It's because you're trying to help people na they're very sick, especially in emerge, right? They come to emerge to dugo, balibuto. Sinasabi ko nga sa sarili ko, it's the fear of the unknown tuwing pumapasok ko sa emergency, na hindi mo alam kung ano yung meron kang darating na pasyente. I mean, we do their assessment. We do initially the focus assessment, and then they had to withdraw their blood. We as nurses can actually put the orders in behalf of the doctors as per policy and procedure.
I've been here in New Zealand for about 8 months, and I'm an orthopedic nurse, and I'm actually enjoying my job because I actually have time to have a conversation with my patients, and I think I'm giving them the standard care that they actually need. And I'm very confident that I'm able to finish my job properly. Kasi before, you guys would know, yung mga nag-work sa public hospital na mamadali kayo or alam nyo may mga hindi kayo nagawa after the shift. But here, I'm very happy naman. Well-staffed naman kadalasan.
Well, I've been here in the UK po for 10 years, no? And in that 10 years, marami na po akong na-experience in nursing. I started in the NHS, I worked in the wards. Dito po, 1:6 ang normal kong hawak in the day, and then in the evening, 1:12 pwede, magdoble yan. Pero at both instances, meron kang healthcare assistant to help you, assist you. NHS total care yan. When I say total care, hindi lang medication, carry out of orders. Meron din obviously yung hygiene and nutrition ng pasyente. You look after them as well. I moved up to HDU for a while, mga 3 years po yun. Dito po is 1:3. Pag mabigat ang pasyente mo, 1:2, pwedeng 1:1. After that po, I went into a private clinic, a private endoscopy clinic in London. Marami akong natutunan na otherwise hindi ko matututunan sa wards or even sa critical care setting. So magandang experience po yun. And then now, ito na po ang trabaho ko ngayon. I work for as a nurse examiner for insurance. Dito naman, another set of skills, and dito ang what is paramount is customer service naman. Napakaganda po ng avenues natin to work here in the United Kingdom.
I was hired in a nursing home, and I've been here for 10 months now. The job is challenging, of course, because in a nursing home, we don't have a nurse-patient ratio. The ratio that I have right now is 1:50 plus patients, especially when you're a night nurse, you're the only nurse at night. You have a lot of patients in a nursing home. That is manageable because you have CNAs that can help you. You have LPNs. The patients are more stable, and the work is already a routine.
Receive ko yung registration ko na January 2018. And then after that, nag-apply na ako. I started working April 2018. Work muna ako na sa part-time due to care arrangement issues. Nag-resign din ako dun sa first job ko. Thankfully, I was just recently hired. Newbie pa rin ako, so I'm still starting my working journey. Currently, full-time nurse, cath lab facility. With regards to workload, personally, as compared to Philippines and Singapore, I feel na medyo mas light workload ko sa Australia. Siyempre, that's my personal opinion lang. And other nurses may have different views as well. Ding mga times na hindi ko maintindihan yung mga sinasabi nila or yung mga terms nila. And, ayun, nag-ano lang ako, pardon? Tanong lang ako ng tanong. Which is okay lang naman kasi tayo kasi sa Philippines, sanay tayo na American accent.
I've been a nurse here in Germany for almost 3 years now. I am working in a university hospital here in Freiburg, Germany. It's a semi-private hospital. And the patients that I'm dealing with are patients that are post-operative. From the brain surgery, from spinal surgeries, and so neurosurgery department. And so far, I'm very satisfied. I'm very happy with my workplace. And I really think that tatagal pa ako sa workplace ko. Here in Germany, we are more focused on the care of the body of the patients. Since the patients doesn't have, real relatives 24/7 by their side. We always have to be there for the patient. Most of the stations in Germany doesn't allow nurses to insert suero, but in my station, in the neurosurgery, we are the ones who do that. What makes it difficult is the language. So you have to talk the whole time in German, because in Germany, hindi masyado marurunong sila lahat mag-English.
I live here on a low cost of living in a small town here in North Dakota, and my salary ranges from 180,000 to 200,000 pesos net pay. And take note, guys, I'm a night shift nurse and I do work every weekends. So your salary will be different if you're or in a state that has a higher cost of living.
Unfortunately, I cannot divulge the exact amount I am earning kasi for confidentiality. Pero you can check sa payscale.com. Ang range is about $26 to $42. Hourly naman yung rate dito. Hindi pa rin sa facility kasi minsan nagbibigay pa rin sila ng mas mataas dun sa range ng payscale.com. Iba rin yung weekend rate, iba rin yung overtime rate, additional fees din yun. Of course, taking into consideration the tax as well. More or less mga 30% yung tax.
Sa Philippine peso, umaabot siya ng 280 to 360,000 per month. Okay? Ang annual estimate is 99,000 Canadian dollars. So annual estimate in peso is 3,960,000. Okay? Fresh grad is 37 per hour, and then yung maximum rate is 50 per hour.
From the state to state or hospital to hospital. But just to give you a range, probably in peso, around 150 to 200. And it could increase then if you stay in the same hospital and then every year you get an increase.
About my salary, I'm not yet that comfortable to share with you guys my exact salary, but I can share with you how much a fresh grad or a nurse with 1 year experience would earn. So they would probably earn about 1.6 million pesos here annually. So hindi pa deducted yung taxes and cost of living.
On the average, around pagdating nila dito, it's about 23,000 pounds ang entry ng isang nurse dito. 23,000 pounds in a year. Kung i-convert ko siya sa peso, that's around 1.4, maybe 1.5 million pesos. Confidential yung aking sweldo dahil po I work now in a corporate setting, but still I am a nurse.
If you reach your second year anniversary, they would actually pay half of your health insurance if you would like to get an health insurance. But cover ka naman dito ng government if you get ill or sick or you get into an accident. It's free. Sick pay, we do get 10 paid sick leave every year. Annual leave would be around 6 weeks per year, and you will get extra leave if you do a lot of night and afternoon shifts. If you work on a holiday, you'll get a lieu day. And maternity leave, I'm not really familiar with the maternity leave here because I'm not gonna benefit from it. But over time, you would be paid twice of your hourly rate. So if you're like earning $30 per hour, you will earn $60 per hour. Pero syempre may tax pa, so malaking mababawas.
I pay insurances that includes the pension, the health insurance, and so whatnot. Now, for the pension, if we get old and we want to, retire, we will get money. And that is really nice. Okay na okay talaga. And for example, we get sick, we need to go to the hospital, a procedure must be done. We are covered. It's all covered, guys. Ang saya-saya. Kasi talagang hindi kami mamamblema dyan. Lahat are required to get health insurance. For example, you're a mom, you're a parent, and you have children, and then they can go to school for free. Everything is free. Now, if you're a parent too, your tax will be lowered, and you will also get kindergeld, or what they call children's allowance. You will get extra money for your children. Vacation leave. We get 30 days leaves for our vacation that is paid For sick leaves, we get paid sick leaves as well. Overtimes, either it will depend on the employer. Either they will pay for that or you can get extra day offs for overtime. But you know, overtime is not uso here in Germany. They do not actually allow it.
Normally, ang working hours is 38 hours per week. May times din na kailangan mag-overtime. Other hospitals na merong options na yung overtime mo is either isasama sa sweldo mo or time in lieu, additional hours for leave. Of course, you are entitled to an annual leave. Leave is accrued. You-earn yun depende na sa number of hours na pinasok. Entitled to sick leave, may sakit yung family member, you can opt to be on leave and file a carer's leave. Maternity, medyo wala pa akong idea kasi hindi pa namin nagagamit.
Number one is healthcare. Healthcare po sa the United Kingdom is free through the NHS. Wala tayong kailangang isipin na problema kung halimbawa may long-term illness or let's say emergency procedures na kailangan ng NHS po laging nandyan. So that's one good benefit po. Second naman po on our list is the annual leave. Annually, at least sa NHS, 7 weeks po yan. Entitled kang gamitin within 1 year. Ganda rin pong benefit dito sa UK is the sick leave. Ang sick leave po dito, umaabot ng 6 months. Pero fair warning po, ang sick leave po is dahil may sakit ka na medyo long term. Hindi po dahil gusto mo lang magkaroon ng sakit, hindi ka napapasok. Hindi po. Ang sick leave po, merong certification yan from your GP. Then we move on to maternity leave. Ang maternity leave po, dito umaabot hanggang 12 full months. Okay? Yan po, ganun po katagal. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala kung kayo po ay tatay, meron din pong paternity leave. Kaya lang po ang paternity leave, around 2 weeks lang. But still, at least hindi tayo nakakalimutan.
Yes, we do have a lot. We do have benefits, of course. Health insurance, dental, vision insurance. We have paid time off, PTO or leaves. Also, paid sick leaves. We do have what they term as 401k or the retirement plan. Definitely, there are overtime pay, holiday pay, night differential, and evening shift also has differential pay.
It has to be at least 40 hours per week. Pag lumagpas ka ng 40 hours per week mo, kailangan mag-overtime ka na. So, ang overtime, that's times 2 ng sahod mo. So, as a PR in Canada, as a permanent resident in Canada, and if you're a citizen, health is free. So, maternity dito, tinanong ko yung kaibigan ko, sabi niya, it's 1 year pay. So, for example, you accumulate sick hours when you work.
Oh, yan ang pinaka-favorite ko talaga dito sa Germany. Super favorite ko. Because I can really attest and tell you that the work-life balance here in Germany is really felt. I really enjoy it. I enjoy it. Sobrang work-life balance, totoo yan. Because even if I just have like 3 days off, I can go and travel to wherever I want within Europe or even outside Europe. Because we have a very good visa na. For example, if I want to go to the Philippines, I take my 1 month off in the Philippines. And if I have 7 days off, I just go to Belgium. Diba? Parang saya, travel is life.
So, work-life balance po dito sa United Kingdom, napakaganda po. Karamihan po ng mga Pilipino umuwi sa Pilipinas annually dahil nga meron silang 3 to 4 weeks na hindi nila ginagamit, rin-reserve nila sa ganon. So marami kang leave. Natapos mo na yung 3 or 4 weeks mo sa Pilipinas, meron ka pang 1 or 2 linggo. Napakaraming pwede mong gawin. If you wanna stay local, ang United Kingdom is a very beautiful country. Kung gusto mo naman mag-abroad, pumunta ng Europe, Amsterdam is an hour away. Paris, France is an hour away. Gusto mo mas malayo ng konti, Spain, Portugal, 2 to 3 hours. Italy is not that far as well. So, maraming pwedeng puntahan.
Work-life balance, definitely there is. Because in my case, I only work 3 12-hour shifts in a week. So, I'm getting 4 days off. So, you can definitely travel to other states. However, if you choose to travel by land, it will be a long drive. And I can still hang out with friends, do whatever I'd like to do. Yeah, and I can vlog my experiences here too. So I do have work-life balance.
Work-life balance here is good. As I've mentioned before, you have 6 weeks annual leave and you'll have more leave if you do a lot of shifts, night shifts. But traveling is not as good as Europe because New Zealand is very isolated and the plane ticket would be expensive just traveling outside the country. But if you will travel around New Zealand, it would be cheap and there's a lot of things to see. There's mountain ranges, beaches, white or black. There are sand dunes, there's ski resorts, and Auckland is beautiful. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's perfect for everyone who doesn't like crowd or too much hustle. It's just far away from other countries, but it's near the Philippines, so it's good.
I think okay naman ang work-life balance kasi ako, tulad ng ang ginagawa ko pag day off, I try to have time with my family. My partner and I usually we try to go out like we try to travel at least every 6 months. Advice ko rin sa sarili ko na wag akong kainin ng work. Kasi minsan talagang kinakain ako ng work. Kasi nga iniisip ko I have to pay for mortgage, my student loan and such. Pero at the end of the day, it's always family first and health first.
Thursday, may tinatawag na long shopping. Mga malls ay open until 9 p.m. Otherwise, the rest of the days, until 5 p.m. lang. For us, sa family namin, we appreciate yung ganun kasi parang you tend to have more family time. Di ka na magtatambay sa mall. Ang option mo is to have dinner with the family. Like in the Philippines, family-oriented din sila. Oh! Oh my! Love you! Ang maganda din dito sa Australia is they promote outdoor activities. Free yung mga parks, free yung mga beach. You can just bring food and libre na yung pupuntahan mo. Trip yung mga long drive, camping. If you wanna check out some places to go in Australia, just check out our website.
Manong